Ain't that true? Welcome to the Backwards Beats sidetrack content. I'm Carl Carter Fansteel.
I'm Dan Woodard.
And we are so happy to be on our break right now.
We're on a break.
Yeah, we're on a break. Things are situational.
We are Ross and Rachel.
Oh, no. Don't ever use a Friends reference on this podcast, sir. This is a Seinfeld household. During our little hiatus, we turn off the top 500 albums of all time list from Rolling Stone just for a few weeks to clear our head, do some catch up work. But this episode, we'll be discussing this is the part 2 to something we've already spoken about.
That's correct.
Which is what?
Civil Disobedience. Or,
yeah, fire.
Or songs to protest to. So we actually released this off cycle in January.
Indeed.
So normally we do our full season, we take a break, and we do the sidetracks thing, but we squirted one in back in January, and I recommend you check that one out. It's a pretty solid episode.
Indeed.
If I recall.
Well, we ended up learning about the episode is there's so many different ways and reasons to protest and why one would. Mm-hmm. So much so that we actually had to make this a 2-part episode.
For sure. There's a lot of things to complain about.
Yeah, and so we complained about anti-war songs and peace songs, civil rights and racial injustice, and of course anti-authority and rebellion in our first episode.
That's right.
And we had some great songs that we were able to kind of put to that if you were looking for a soundtrack to go, FS up to. Mm-hmm. I don't have to hit the explicit button yet.
Not yet. Or if just like you need something to relate to, like you feel like things are a mess and what can I do to find something, some catharsis? It's a good soundtrack for that.
But it wasn't enough.
It wasn't.
So we have 3 more categories today that we've been holding off on. Mm-hmm. And a gently curated list. If you missed the other one, the TLDR of the whole thing is we're going to each throw a few songs up per category. There's going to be a lot of overlap.
There will be.
But I don't know what's on your list. You don't know what's on mine. In fact, there was overlap, I know for a fact, on some the old songs too. Mm-hmm. There might be some that we've previously mentioned that just happen to fit in more than one category.
Correct. So just the fact that we put these in these categories doesn't mean that they necessarily fit squarely in that bucket.
But it's where we need to be today.
That's what art is like, Art is subjective.
Ain't that right?
It's right.
All right, so what are we opening up with today?
How about social and generational change?
Ooh, I like it. 2 apiece, maybe?
Sure.
You want to go first?
Okay. I'm going to start sort of from the back moving forward. So more historical to more current. So I'm going to go all the way back to 1944.
Okay.
Which feels apropos of 2026. The song is called All You Fascists Bound to Lose.
Love that title.
By Woody Guthrie.
Let's go, Woody.
Yeah. This is a direct, condemnation. This is during World War II. And I mean, this is sort of a country folk song. And because of it, it doesn't sound as angry as the lyrical content would make you believe.
Yeah.
Which is, not everything has to be Rage Against the Machine.
Agreed. In fact, sometimes the softer approach is more effective.
Yes. And it really just sort of talks about all forms of exploitation and injustice, and it makes it, again, apropos of pretty much every generation. There's always been some version of authority or authoritarian figures or even movements that conflict with each other, right? So if you look on the far right, you have we have a fascist movement, and on the far left, you have a communist movement. And if you really look at that as a circle, they kind of come around and meet each other.
In certain places, they do.
And so everything else being in the middle of that ring, it's almost a snake eating its tail in certain concepts.
Heard.
And so, and we just go through these cycles, right? If you think about World War II, I mean, basically, as a society, we're only good for about 80 years before we mess things up, right? And before things get really crazy. So, congratulations, 2026.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are. So that's why this content is actually appropriate. We're not going to sit here and talk about, get too into the weeds of our actual beliefs, but because that's not what this is about. It's about music. But this is a good song. It's an enjoyable song, well written, and I love it as a rallying cry, all the way back then. And Woody Guthrie being such a progenitor of so many different other protest songs.
Yeah. In my books, you can't talk about social change without looking no further than Crosby, Stills, Young, and Nash. Mm-hmm. And I think this one may have been mentioned in a different camp on episode 1, but I think Ohio, actually, this is where it falls for me.
I think we did dip into it for a minute, and then I think we might have put a pin in it.
Well, remember, there's always the "For What It's Worth." Is like the tune, right?
Yep. That's definitely on my list.
Yeah, of course. That song blankets over 5 of these 6.
Yeah.
But Ohio, I think, is such a unique tune in the sense, not because they're great storytellers, which they are. Mm-hmm. It really does a great job of matching the message to the music and the feel that you get from the song and their harmony. It's beautifully haunting. It feels revolutionary. It feels... I risk a little bit of sounding, I don't know, stupid or like I'm stealing from another culture here, but it does almost feel like it's kind of a song of the fields.
Yeah, there's a bit of a...
It has like a kind of stomp to it.
Yeah.
Kind of like a field anthem. And I'm not going to be shy, but what I'm saying, this sounds like a spiritual that be sung while, being forced to labor.
Yeah. Yes, I always got the rhythm to be more of like people working on the railroads, like
precisely,
sledgehammering in the railroad ties.
Which, I mean, look at the amazing amount of, Asian labor used in that field and exploited. Yep. And so this one for me, when you look at social and generational change, but mainly the social change piece here, highlighting, these pieces, 4 Dead in Ohio, like really, that's where I think social change happens.
Yeah.
And it's people who aren't afraid to speak the truth that kind of get their message through.
Yeah. No, it's a good call. Good call. And that's a great song. Yeah,
it's such a good tune.
It's on my list too, but yeah. And I think I had it in another bucket as well. I'm kind of stuck on what I want to do as my next one, because I think I know one of the ones that you're going to do. We've already mentioned For What It's Worth. We probably need to just talk about that one just in general as sort of as a gimme.
Sure. The gimme is because certainly cinematic media didn't help.
Right.
This and Fortunate Son, right? Are like the two most played out.
Yep.
Anytime there's like a Vietnam level production.
Or Paint It Black.
Yeah, precisely. Those 3, you got to play those songs or else you failed your mission.
Yeah.
But one of the best parts, I think, about For What It's Worth, if you were to look through the progression of the song, because it's, I think, 5 verses.
Yeah.
You really start to get to the point where it gets violent.
Mm-hmm.
And right now you get to you look at all of the D-Flock efforts.
Yeah.
If you're hip to those.
Yep.
Paranoia strikes deep.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a lot of these kind of tropes that will never change, right? When people feel like they're being oppressed, it's almost always, and you can tell because the song's so damn old.
Right.
Same symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
Just different story.
Yep. Yeah, it was because it was based off of the Sunset Boulevard incident, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where the Utes were loitering.
So dumb.
They brought in the militia.
Yeah, literally.
Yep.
And so I support Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young as always being right there to tell the story.
Yeah, well, that's Buffalo Springfield specifically, but...
Oh, I'm sorry, that's Buffalo Springfield.
Yep.
I'm dumb.
Yep.
Yes.
But we're talking about Ohio, so that's why.
That's why.
And Stephen Stills is kind of,
Kind of, yes.
Yeah.
But the song is it lives in the head rent free and cannot be forgotten. It also, the funny part of this one is where you can really hear the angst in Ohio. This song is like I want to like roll a joint to it.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel that way to me.
Right.
It's almost the opposite. But it's such a cool song. It's a very simple tune.
Yeah. It's a great one.
And also a Tribe Called Quest samples it. So we got that for us.
I gotta imagine a lot of people sample it. We should go to Who Sampled to see how many samples of
it's
that.
just that harmonic part, you know. I feel like you're still up.
All right, so I think I want to talk about one that's maybe not as well known as a protest song, or maybe it is. The song's called Ball of Confusion. That's What the World Is Today by The Temptations.
Okay.
Yeah, Temptations can get ornery. This is a really frantic, like funky tune because it's Temptations. And they're just talking about the chaos of the early 70s. It's like this rapid fire list of all, it's like we didn't start the fire, you know.
I was going to say,
yeah,
there's the...
It's a list of complaints, basically, there, you know, from war, racism, drug abuse, political corruption. It's just a cool song anyway, because it's the Temptations. And it's just really talking about this feeling of the world, especially, you know, late 60s, early 70s, feeling like very out of control.
Yeah. And, you know, you're used to Sugar Pie Honey Bunch. And so it's really jarring to have the Temptations step out on this one.
Yeah.
It didn't make my cut. However, I had to go listen to it. I was so surprised to see Temptations on this list.
Yeah.
Or just anywhere mentioned.
Right.
My last one I'll throw into the fire here, just to get the mention out there, would be, and I have to say it because it was followed by us. No, I chose Arcade Fire, Ready to Start.
Ooh.
How about that?
Wow. I thought you were going to do London Calling.
No, love that song. You know, you know my feelings for The Clash.
Yeah.
No, so this is something that Arcade Fire was only brought into my earways because it was the first album we ever looked at on this list. Or not, that was, and this is on the album, but this is something that came a little later. There's an energy to Arcade Fire that I think is driving in the indie scene. I wouldn't call them the most loved out there. I know there's been a little bit of drama around lead singer guy, but this song really fuels me. And it's a real call to action type of tune.
Yeah.
And so if you want to talk about social and generational change, the elements in my construction here were not being afraid to speak the truth.
Yeah.
And then the call to action.
Yeah. And what is the call to action?
They're ready to start.
Yeah.
Like, we're ready to go. Like, you have to mobilize now.
Yeah. Yeah.
The song embodies it. If you listen to the energies there,
they
have a really great way of kind of building these very simple themes and then rolling them and ramping them and ramping them, ramping them. Like they're just gonna, they don't punch the car from 35 to 50. They go 35, 36, 37. They like really just, but it's consistent.
Yeah.
And they're not afraid to use massive soundscapes.
That's
big choral
Yeah.
sections of their own voices, tambourines. Nothing ever sounds perfect on an Arcade Fire record, and I like that.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
This isn't perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I found interesting when we listened to the first album, Funeral, is a lot of really good tracks, a lot of interesting arrangements. None of it, like you said, none of it perfect, but all good enough for what it's doing and serving the purpose.
Perfect isn't pure in that sense.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want it. You need this to be a little rough around the edges, just a stitch busting. And I don't casually listen to Arcade Fire, but I did find this song to kind of fit the mold for the sake of this conversation.
Yeah, it's a good one. One last honorable mention: "Working Class Hero" by John Lennon.
Ah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And yeah, if you want to talk about, see that one could arguably slip into the next segment.
It very well could.
So the next segment here is social satire and critique.
Yeah.
One of my favorite segments we'll talk about between this and the last.
Yeah. All right. What do you got, baby?
I think the number one for me in here comes from one of the greatest artists of all time, Stevie Wonder. The song, Just Enough for the City. Living Just Enough for the City, if you don't know the tune, not only is a perfect musical composition,
As are many of the songs on that album.
it's skip proof.
Yeah.
It also has just perfect lyrics and great storytelling. And if you really need one more reason to hit it, it's got this skit attached to it of literal social unjust, or like social satire critique.
Yep.
like it's not. This is a social wrongdoing happening in real time.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
But
You could probably use Songs in the Key of Life as this whole episode.
totally. But he did it. Stevie's so graceful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's the finger pointing? That's kind of the big question here,
Right?
Because he's not afraid to question, society as a whole, the government structure, but he's also not like afraid to look inside his own community.
Yep.
And I think that that's really crazy because if you look at the end of this song, it's a brother hurting a brother,
Yeah.
and then Honky comes in.
Yeah.
So it's like all versions.
Yeah.
This song does for me what The Wire does for TV.
That's a good call. Yeah, that's a great call out. It was on my list too. So
Yeah, but
damn you.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
yeah. I'm going to talk about the song "Holiday in Cambodia"
Okay, I know the tune.
by Dead Kennedys.
Cambodia.
It's so good, and it's really just making fun of all of us self-righteous Westerners, essentially.
This is that satire piece.
Yeah,
The critique.
That's the satire, right? This whole thing about I can't even say some of the words from the lyrics from the song, but it's this person of privilege, just bragging about how they understand other cultures when they clearly don't, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like a pre-gentrification sort of conversation in some ways, in some regards. But then the idea is, all right, if you think it's so great there, it's a holiday in Cambodia, where you do what you're told, but it's a holiday in Cambodia. Here's where the satire is, where the slums have got so much soul. They're just like,
And he somehow squeezes that into a vocal phrase too,
Yeah.
which is pretty impressive.
yeah,
What's so funny? It just hit me as we're talking about it. In the same kind of breath, this, a song that you and I had talked about recently, probably in the past few weeks, that we both really like,
Yeah.
from a band we're not so fond of.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where I'm going with this one? Eminence Front
yep,
kind of has that same piece. Sunshine, people forget.
yep,
And they're talking about rich people skiing.
Yep.
Come on, join the party, dress to kill. Like,
yep.
I don't love The Who, but damn, is Eminence Front not a good song?
It's a great song.
And I
It's a
think it
great
has
groove.
a little bit of edge in here.
It does. It does. And the other thing I love about it is talking about, these sort of posers being so like sensitive.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
Call them out, kids.
Yep. Which is pretty good, because as much as the Dead Kennedys make fun of the establishment, they're not. Pretty much nobody's safe. They'll make fun of everybody.
Oh, yeah. Then you got to like when there's an equal opportunity to go at people.
Yeah.
It's where comedians get along.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, obviously, you can't make this list without Avril Lavigne's Complicated. I'm just kidding. She really doesn't like preppies. So it wasn't really a contest for my second one here. The only reason I didn't blurt this one out first is my respect for Stevie Wonder is just paramount. But a song I will never turn off, and a song that the only reason I haven't covered it is because I have too much respect to cover it. It's a perfect song and perfect for this list, is none other than Jill Scott Heron doing "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised."
Yes.
In one of the
we did
greatest
talk about that.
monologues of all time.
It is. And we did cover that in the other one. But
Yes,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
this is where I think you
Yep.
get that piece too.
Yeah.
Because of the satire and the critique. It's not going to be on your evening TV show. I mean, like, it's just,
Yeah.
it's the ultimate get off your ass song.
Right. It should be on the radio all the time right now.
And anytime I hear it, I get juiced.
Yeah.
It's my favorite piece of this.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be, by the way. The purpose of this song, once again, is it's a call to action. And, there's ways to be like an advocate, but there's ways to be an accomplice.
Correct.
And that's my goal in this new age, is be an accomplice. Advocacy is not good enough anymore.
Correct.
And he's there, and he's not telling you to do anything specific. He's just reminding you the shit won't fall in your lap.
Right.
But you're going to inherit the outcome of it no matter where you fall in that spectrum.
Right. Yes. You should participate in your own rescue.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
And it's just so clever.
Yeah.
Which suddenly feels like a toxic word for me to say. It's so incredibly clever, the limerick that he comes up with to describe this.
Clever is a compliment.
I agree entirely.
Okay.
I want to say more than that. Even
Yes.
like I just think he's so brilliant in the way that this is spoken, and the presentation is great. The phrasing is great. Where they decide to take a musical stop is great. The band behind him is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a perfect song.
It really is a good song. It's a really good song.
I love this category.
Yeah.
My honorable mention would go over to Talking Heads, "Life During Wartime."
Classic. Great song.
Also, because David Byrne has that kind of presentation as well. Whole different version of it.
Yeah.
But he just is not afraid to yell it.
Yeah.
Why don't you round us up in this one?
Fuel by Ani DeFranco.
I thought you were talking about the band Fuel at first. I was like, bro.
Yeah, bro. No, by Metallica. Fuel by Metallica. No. This is just such a poetic song.
I don't know that I know this song.
Oh, it's a good song. It's talking about corporate greed and the commodification of basically everything.
I probably do know this song.
Right? So, again, where it's so appropriate now with corporate greed and commodification, all the conversations we have with AI.
Data centers
and that sort of stuff. Actually, I saw, El Sabario Siberiano, right?
Our favorite bearded drummer.
Yeah. And so he has the shirt that says Suno. And, oh, God, was it? Did
it break down the acronym?
Yeah, I can't remember this, but it's until we're all until we're no longer original. I can't remember. It's SUN, not original. Something not original, but it's perfect. I gotta look it up.
Yeah.
That was stupid. I mentioned and I couldn't remember the acronym now.
Good for him for being anti-Suno.
Yeah. But it's a challenging thing, right? So when you do something for this conversation to continue it on, when you commoditize art, which happens frequently, and actually Jack Conte just a big sort of Patreon CEO, Pamplemousse band guy. This whole thing on Suno and the fact that that the people who are building these AI models and things like that aren't earning any of that. They're just taking it without consent.
Yep.
Right. And turning it into commodity. While the output may be fun, right, to use Suno and make a song and that sort of stuff, I get it. The fact that, at least in my opinion, here's where I will talk about an opinion because it's fairly safe. Yeah, is you and I, if we're writing a song, we're likely stealing too.
Well, I mean, we're pulling from a database of music we've cataloged in our heads over time.
Right.
There's only 12 stories, said Shakespeare.
Right. So that's the counter argument. Like, so what's the difference between us doing that and AI doing it? Mm-hmm. Right. And it's a subtle difference. It's just that that when you and I work hard at a craft to do something, and then we produce something that may be derivative, it likely is, because there's only so many. There are more musical notes, pitches, and rhythms that actually exist that we would never make all the music humanly possible before the heat death of the universe. However, we've constrained most of the things we like to a much lower,
Yo, check out this love song in Locrian.
Right.
We should punch up a love song in Locrian now.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll do that. But this is really like a good, like a stream of consciousness, like dense song, talking about everything. From
Ani DeFranco had a really, still has, I'm sure she's still with us.
Yeah.
But she's got this jagged edge about her. She just she was in it to tell some truths, and such like an aggressive singer and player, and really cool. Like back in college, I got sucked into a project with a fantastic artist who wrote a lot like her and was heavily influenced by her.
Yeah.
And it just felt like I got to be Ani DeFranco's drummer for a year or two. She flew me out to San Francisco and stuff. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
But yeah, we listened to plenty Ani.
Yeah.
And it was like, I respect that. The edge is there.
Yeah. And one of the things in here that talks about the marketing of alternative culture.
Yeah.
Making it no longer alternative.
Hey.
Right?
Oof. That's like the Target selling the Sublime shirt, man.
Yep. But if you're in the pinch for a Sublime shirt, you can get it at Target.
Nice to know as they continue to lose people on that tour.
I know.
Oh, man. That takes us over to our third category.
Environmentalism.
Indeed. I'll call dibs on first here.
Okay, go ahead.
Big Yellow Taxi. Should we also just chuck in What's Going On while we're at it?
Yeah.
The obvious ones.
Yeah.
Both of those songs will always be trophy holders
Yeah.
in this category.
So, Big Deal Taxi, you're talking about the Counting Crows song, right?
Obviously, because without Adam, what would we do? No,
Right.
Joni Mitchell. My wife actually said today, when she asked what we were doing this evening for our episode, I said, we're doing these, and tonight's the environmental. She said that actress Amanda Seyfried, the chick from Mean Girls.
Yes, yeah, okay. Yep.
She has a version of this song she covers where she sings it and plays dulcimer.
Ooh.
Like,
I've seen that.
I was like, I want to watch this.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
So we're going to watch this afterwards.
I think it was on Fallon or something like that. She does
That's it.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be fire.
Yeah, she does a good job. Another version of this song that I like is Indigo Girls do a good cover of this song.
I didn't know they did one.
Yeah.
I didn't look as a Baltimore boy too, but also like it's easy to make fun of Counting Crows in some places because he's such a mess. I like their copy.
It's not a bad version.
I like their copy. I grooved to that one pretty hard.
Yeah.
Is it Nelly Furtado singing the hook? It sounds like her, but I know it's not.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
And so you get that, and of course, oh no, you know what? It wasn't What's Going On. I had Marvin Gaye's Mercy Me.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
And I mean,
In parentheses, the ecology.
precisely. So like direct quoting.
Yeah.
And obviously, so for Joni Mitchell, I mean, her line about the farmers, line off the DDT, like great.
Well, even the hook, right? Pay paradise and put up a parking lot.
Like charge people to see the trees.
Yeah.
And then for Marvin Gaye, I mean, this is such pinnacle singing, lush,
Yeah.
hazy, beautiful. It's everything you got to love about Marvin Gaye packaged up into one piece. You never know.
Beautiful song.
You never know this guy's upset about
He's
the
really mad.
But then that's what he sounds like mad. I don't want to say what happy sounds like.
Yeah. Well, we've heard what he sounds like mad on
Yeah.
Here, My Dear.
Yeah. Don't listen to that one.
No.
But listen to this
Mercy,
one.
Mercy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
listen to Mercy, Mercy Me. What do you got?
So I have, because I knew those two songs, I have both of those on my list.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do Monkey Gone to Heaven by the Pixies.
The Pixies.
Yeah. I'm sticking with punk rock here.
Dude, that song's been popping up on like WTMD and stuff recently. I feel like I've heard that song 3 times in the past month.
Yeah, I like the song. It's not really a protest song, but it's more about environmentalism.
Yeah.
And it's just talking about, how humans are damaging the ocean, and, it also refers to biblical numerology, which is kind of interesting. It's talking about the quest for humans' place in the universe, but it's a good song. I think Black Francis sounds fantastic in it, and I'm a Pixies fan, so I had to put him on the list.
So it's so funny. As a kid, I didn't know who the Pixies were, but I did know who the Bloodhound Gang were.
Yeah.
And they had that one quote, this honky's gone to heaven.
Yep.
Because he goes, the man is 5, the devil is 6, and that must make me 7. This honky's gone to heaven.
Yeah.
Clever.
Yes, that is clever.
Between the counting and then changing out and making fun of himself, he was very good at that Jimmy Pop guy.
Yeah. I mean, the whole Doolittle album's great, but
Yeah. No, the Pixies, I get these Pixie requests live. Really challenging band to cover. Like, you'd think you could just like poop out Where Is My Mind on stage. If the people you're playing with don't know the breaks and the hits and the loud sections, and don't have like this kind of 2 a.m. swagger,
right,
you really can't cover that song effectively. But that's the one that someone will ask for all the time.
Yeah.
It's really challenging.
It's a banger of a song.
Great song. Yeah. I'm gonna go with, I'll keep it old, Neil Young, After the Gold Rush.
Yeah, good one.
Just because you can't talk about kind of like upset people without talking about Neil Young.
Right.
He's so powerful in his presentation no matter what he does.
Yeah.
It was just hilarious because you can hear him sing like Heart of Gold or something like that.
Yeah.
But there's something when he decides to rock.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have, did we talk about Rockin' the Free World on the first episode back in January?
We might have, yeah.
And so that's much more his style, but he's not afraid to shy away from these topics. He sings with purpose.
He does.
And he's not writing sideways songs. He's writing songs for change.
Yeah.
And I think that's something you say about an artist you want in any of these 6 categories.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with the tune, After the Gold Rush is kind of down the middle rocker.
Yep.
But he just has such a great earnest presentation of his voice. I never thought I liked his voice, but I wouldn't want to hear anybody else do it either.
That's the thing with him, right? Like, objectively, he doesn't really have a great voice, even though it's part of Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. He fits in. It's kind of like Joe Walsh.
Yeah.
Right? Joe Walsh doesn't have a good voice, but when he's singing with the Eagles, sounds like an angel.
Joe Walsh, yeah. He's incredible.
Yeah.
No, I'll leave it at that one.
Yep. That's a good one. God, I have so many in here.
Drop 2.
What's that?
We're ahead of schedule. You can afford to talk about 2.
So, all right. So there's one that I'll probably talk about because I was listening to it in the car.
Oh yeah, thank God.
Should we talk about "Feels Like Summer"?
Yeah, let's do it.
By
Childish Gambino.
Thank you. I'm about to choke on my own stuff. So
Good old Donald Glover.
yeah,
I remember when this song dropped. It came out right after he dropped dun 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 dun.
Oh, yep.
Dun, 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 dun. What's that? Redbone.
yes, right, yep.
Not the Come and Get Your Love Redbone, but the Redbone that samples. Oh God, I forgot where the sample came from, but that beautiful line, and he sings in falsetto, and the song is just absolutely stellar. I remember listening to a quote that came from Questlove. It said, "This song hit. It was late at night, and either Questlove texted D'Angelo or D'Angelo texted Questlove. It was like, have you heard this shit yet?" And they were talking about Redbone.
Yeah.
This is obviously, D'Angelo's passing.
Yep.
And they were just stunned by this song just kind of came out of nowhere and just ruined like the hip hop scene in the best way possible. Just reset it because it was like R&B soul, but it was so widely respected in the hip hop vein.
Yeah.
So then the second release that kind of came out of this pile of songs was Feels Like Summer.
Yeah. Yeah. And so this song, excuse me, is environmental change. And one of the things it talks about is like the collapse of biodiversity, which is a pretty nuanced take.
Yeah.
And, like we don't eat the same bananas that our parents ate.
Nope.
Because the way they were farmed and harvested, basically the trees, the Cavendish, I think, were the original bananas. And we do Gros Michel are the bananas that we typically eat now.
Yep.
And so basically the Cavendish, the way they were farmed, basically they became essentially inbred.
Yep.
And died off. So we eat different bananas because of the lack of biodiversity just in that.
My wife has a fantastic book on that topic.
Oh, really?
And then all the she dorks out on.
Oh,
on
yeah.
these
Great.
great
Invite her in to talk about bananas.
Dude, the nonfiction she can quote us on. I'm gonna get a quote from her to follow up on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
correct Dan on his banana.
And then all of the money that follows. No, you had it.
Yeah.
It was crazy to hear about though.
Yeah.
This song also, I know environmentally it
It's
has
actually
some
talking
weight.
about bees more than it talks about bananas. It doesn't about bananas at all, but go ahead. Yeah.
There's also, if you look at the video, there's this massive talking about, so summer traditionally is when murder rate goes up.
Yep.
And so it's a big social commentary on hip hop as well and the black culture.
Yeah.
Massive to the point where when you look at the video of this, it's animated. It's him walking on the street, and they're in it animated are like 60 plus prominent hip hop, R&B, soul black figures. Everybody from Aaliyah to to like Lil Wayne. Like,
yeah,
it's just this massive breadth, and they're all hanging out over the course of this neighborhood and doing stuff. There's a fantastic analysis that was done on it. And so that the fact that he had the foresight and the ability to write
right
about something that is absolutely an environmental critique.
Yep.
But the environment is a double entendre also.
Right.
Stunning.
Yeah. It's really good. It's a really good song, and it's a grooving piece of music.
Oh, that shuffle thing they have going on. It has like a Toto's Africa shuffle, but slowed down.
Yep.
And the most lush synth lines and reverb on these harmony walls.
Yeah.
It's a joy to listen to. It
really is.
Then he dropped after that. Wasn't that This Is America came out?
Yep.
My God, talk about social commentary.
Yeah.
Respect to him. I know he had some health issues as of recent, I
I
believe.
think so. Yeah.
Well, Donald Glover, we like you.
We do. What else do you have for the environment?
I'm burnt on those. You have one more?
I have like 4 more. And I'm trying to decide whether I go with the Beach Boys or Metallica.
Yes. No, the band, yes, please.
I don't think I have one for the band, yes. So I guess I'll go in that order. Any other ones? Sorry, any others I want to do here? All right, I'll do the Beach Boys first. Don't Go in the Water. You don't think the Beach Boys have an environmental group, but this is from 1971, and it's basically their surf rock imagery turned on its head. They're talking about the rivers being ruined by industry,
Okay.
right?
Not because Brian Wilson took a poopy in there?
No, not necessarily, but basically it's an anti-industry and environmental cry,
Yeah.
right? Which they're not responsible for, but the fact that in 1971 that was becoming
That's huge.
right? That was becoming known, right?
It's also a statement for them to make. I mean, they were renowned. So,
Right.
like, there comes that point, where you get so successful, you don't worry about money, you worry about defense.
Yeah,
And, like, don't, like, rock the boat. Like, you don't want to lose your throne. And
Yeah.
so,
yeah,
way to speak up.
yeah. You wouldn't necessarily at first blush because it still kind of sounds like the Beach Boys. It doesn't sound like Good Vibrations, but it's
Look, you can sing harmonies about global disaster. That's fine.
you can. Yeah, so I give him credit for that.
I want to know what your Metallica one is.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. So this is about climate change, but it's about nuclear destruction.
Ah.
The song is called Blackened. And so it's basically talking about the impact of warfare, not just on people, but also on the environment, right? So, like, I can't remember. God, I should have researched this because I can't remember the name of it. But there's a whole part of France that's uninhabitable due to the bombing of in World War I.
It's still
To this
Jeez.
day. There's so many armaments that were discharged in this area that it's basically roped off. And if you look at it, the pictures of the area are just phenomenal today, right? Just these mounds of ordnance, and there's so many tons of it that at the rate that they're cleaning up, it'll be like another 200 years before they get it cleaned up. Because I forget it was 80 or 90 days of constant bombardment, just shelling in World War I. That and it's unhealthy to be there because there's also
unreal amount of lead.
Yep. So yeah, toxic runoff, all that kind of stuff, and it's a fairly large part.
Stuff can still pop off.
Yes. Yep. There are plenty of things that did not discharge, so running around there and playing in it is not necessarily safe. So it talks a bit about that, and it just talks about the whole scorched earth thing that of the 80s. We still had some we were still in the Cold War, so there's some of the fear of that. But yeah, it just basically talks about a dead biosphere. So you don't really think Metallica. They certainly write about topical things, but there's their environmental song.
Good for them.
Yeah, it's off their Injustice for All album,
Okay, that's a
1980,
well-known album. I can see the cover
Yep.
in my mind, which is very kind of a statement right there.
There are a handful of protest songs on that album.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Think it'll be on the list?
No,
That's a shame.
no,
Maybe they sign it to me one day.
maybe Metallica's going to be on the list. The
Yeah.
question is, was it going to be the Black Album? Will it be Master of Puppets?
I always thought
will
it'd be
two
Master.
of them.
At
Yeah.
least Master will make it.
Yeah,
It has to, right?
but the Black Album is the one that put them into the stratosphere of.
We know how much Rolling Stone magazine likes that.
Yeah. But anyway,
Well, this is a fun segment. We like
Yeah.
to keep these kind of short and sweet.
tight.
But thank you for joining us. We have a lot of fun content coming up in our little 6-week off season here. And we will just keep creating on through.
Let's do that.
Well, in the meantime, you can always reach out to us. We love the engagement we've been getting. You can get us at Instagram
At Backwards Views Podcast.
or email.
backwardsviewspodcast@gmail.com.
If you want a real good time, hit us on Patreon for free
For free.
and get some really neat content. We have a real hard time not populating that with fun extra things. If we're lucky, we'll get some of our live podcast on there sooner than later. I know that whenever we decide to deep dive, we sometimes do some session work that we
Yep.
do on there.
Yep.
So keep your eyes peeled. Join us on that community. It's been really helpful for us from an engagement.
We're still building
standpoint.
it up. We're trying to we have the ability to put content on there that we just can't put in the regular platforms because of the way streaming platforms deal with copyright.
Yeah, we can use pieces of songs that we
Right.
could not use on Spotify or Apple Music.
Yeah, even though this show would constitute as fair use by law, a lot of the platforms just don't tolerate any copywritten stuff
Can't
on there.
even-
They don't want to fight the fight, and we're a 2-person operation. So,
Yeah. The muscle ain't quite there,
yep,
but the heart is.
sure is, baby.
Hawk Sound.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm Carl Carter Fansteel.
I'm Dan Woodard.
You'll hear our lovely voices next week. Ciao. Backward Speeds Podcast is a Tuna Wood production recorded live at Thought Shack Studios in Halethorpe, Maryland.
If you enjoyed the show, make sure to subscribe and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You can find us at Backward Speeds Podcast on most platforms.
Share the love, and we'll see you next week for another deep dive into the next album on Rolling Stone Magazine's Top 500 list. Until then, salt your melons.